Hello everyone, and welcome to the Plant Biodiversity series. In this video, we will be working through question 2 of the Pteridophyte biodiversity, in other words, the biodiversity of ferns. This question comes from the KZN March 2020 Provincial test and is worth 10 marks. So let's go through it. So question 1.3 asks us to study the diagram below showing a non-seed vascular plant. So we know that bryophytes, also known as mosses, are not vascular, so the image cannot be that of a bryophyte. We know that the next division of plants, the pteridophytes, are vascular because they have xylem and phloem, however, they don't produce seeds. So I'd like you to pause the video, answer the questions, and then we'll go through the answers. Question 1.3.1 asks, to which group does the plant above belong to? The plant above belongs to the Pteridophyte division. Remember, the word pterido means feather and phyte means plant. So a pteridophyte is a feather-like plant. If we look at the plant structure, it bears resemblance to a feather. What is the dominant generation of the plant above? The dominant generation refers to what you see when you look at the plant. So when we look at the pteridophyte, the leafy structures that we are looking at are the sporophyte. So that is the dominant generation. 1.3.3, name the green structure that grows into a gametophyte. This is the prothallus. Remember, the prothallus is the heart-shaped structure out of which the gametes will grow, and this forms the gametophyte. Question 1.3.4 asks you to identify part A. Part A is pointing to the horizontal stem. This is known as the rhizome. The rhizome anchors the pteridophyte into the ground, and it is the substrate out of which the sporophyte or the leaf-like structures grow. 1.3.5 says state one function of part A. So one function of part A is that it stores food in the form of starch and proteins. So for this question, this is a 1-mark question and you only have to state one function. There is no need to list 3 or 4 different functions. Only state one function and move on to the next question. Question 1.3.6 asks you to explain why the gametophyte plants live in moist habitats. So, the gametophyte generation depends on water for fertilization. This means that the sperm, which is the male gamete, requires water in order to swim to the ova. Ova is the plural of ovum, and ovum refer to eggs for fertilization. So, 1 mark for saying that the gametophyte generation depends on water for fertilization, and a 2nd mark for saying what happens in that water. What is happening in that water is that the sperm is swimming to the egg in order to fertilize it and to form a diploid zygote. 1.3.7 says the plant above can grow into a large plant. Name 3 features that will enable this plant to survive in terrestrial life. So feature number 1 is that it has true roots, true stems, and true leaves. Remember that the smaller leafy structures on a pteridophyte are known as fronds. It has vascular tissue present, and the vascular tissue is xylem and phloem. Phloem transports food, xylem transports water. The leaves are covered by a cuticle. This prevents the loss of prevents the excessive loss of water. Right, so for this question, you are simply asked to name the features. There is no need to explain each one of them. This is only a 3-mark question asking for 3 features. So you only have to name or list the 3 features without a need to explain. Right, so give yourself a mark out of 10 and then we can move on to the next question.